Welcome to Aggressive Development. I'm your host, Steven, and on this show, we give our opinions on the current happenings in the entertainment world. We encourage you to stick around, and we hope you enjoy it. And also, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.
All right.
You should just throw the hoodie on and put hood up.
Oh, we've been recording this whole fucking time, right? Of course we have.
Yep.
This motherfucker, bro.
Got you checking your hair in the fucking camera.
Of course, I have to. Pretty bitch. All right, welcome back to the show. Aggressive Development, baby.
All right. Pause.
What you mean?
Run
pause?
that back. Run that back.
Welcome back to the show, Aggressive Development. I am your host, Steven Delesk.
Why'd you sigh like that?
Because I don't know, bro. Come out to play. Did he with the Ciroc bottle?
Oh, God.
Bro, I saw that shit on Instagram that somebody was like, had a little caption like, whatever they say he did, he fucking did that shit.
Nah, the one that kills me is the one where he's getting his own personal bartender to fucking make the drink with the Ciroc. Dude.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And he's like, this is, what did he call it?
I can't remember. He called it the, I want to say he called it the Diddy something.
The Diddy juice. It had to be the
I
Diddy.
think it was Diddy juice. I think you're totally right.
It was like Ciroc, grape juice, Welch's grape. He said
Welch's
grape.
Specifically Welch's grape juice. I'm gonna look up that video because I can't remember what it was called.
Bro, he just be wild. And remember, he was on that. I think it was the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne, and they're like, "Yeah, bro, like you was saying, Daddy, I like the way you scrambling with shit." He's like, "I said that." He's like, "I just came from partying a night in Miami." Yeah,
Yeah, it was Diddy juice.
Diddy juice?
Yeah,
Oh,
Diddy
shit.
juice.
Jamie, you're drinking that, right?
He just came back from vacation.
Yeah, we miss Jamie in the studio here because he just, he off in a win and everything. He goes on little benders, like hangover type of benders. Y'all don't know him. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what he looks like, but.
Yeah, that's true. Well, technically, he was gone for a decent bit of that too.
He was in Thailand.
I was definitely not in Thailand. That is false. We'll stop that one right there. we don't need those rumors going around now. We know you want to go to get to Thailand though.
No.
I brought this up last time. This man wants to go to Thailand, and everyone knows why.
What you mean? Why would I go to Thailand?
Oh, you know.
That's crazy.
Oh, man. All right, let's get into shit. So I wanted to bring up, we'll talk about it briefly because I'm probably going to do most of the talking, but the NHL. Stanley Cup just concluded last night. Florida Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
They whooped that ass.
They destroyed them. In those last couple games, it looked like Florida had control of that series. It really looked like Florida had control of that series from the start. They lost. I think the only two games they lost were overtime games. Mm-hmm. And honestly, if you watch those games, they probably should have won it in overtime in those games.
See, the little bit amount that I watched of the playoffs, because obviously I just started watching those games because of you. I kind of like hockey a lot now. I ain't gonna lie.
It's good sport.
I'm a football guy. Like, I was really fucking with that shit. But I wanted Edmonton to win because you said they hadn't won in, like, Canada hasn't won in 30 years. I probably shouldn't be rooting for Canadian team, but
32 years as of this year.
McDavid, he was like that. He was really like that. But they goalie's dirt.
McDavid might
Request a trade.
That's what I would do. He's been there. I think this was his 9th season.
And they was in a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, they were in the finals last year. This was a rematch of last year's finals. A full rematch. And it went to Game 7. It went to full series last time. Florida won it.
This one game was competitive. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like the two games I watched, which was Game 4, and last night was Game 5.
No, you watched 5 and 6.
5 and 6.
Yeah.
So Game 5 and Game 6 did not look competitive.
No, not in the slightest.
And I don't watch hockey like that, but I do know enough sports when you can tell one team's more competitive than the other. Like,
yeah, I mean, to some degree, it wasn't for lack of trying. Edmonton really, like, offensively was producing a lot. The problem was they just weren't getting 8 goals. And a lot of that is kind of on Bob, the goalie, Sergei Bobrovsky, the goalie for the Panthers. He's probably the best goalie in the world. Like right now, actually for the last couple of years, he's probably the best in the world. But a lot of that has to do with him because I think he in this series alone, he had 2 games that were 40-plus saves. And so it wasn't for Edmonton's. It wasn't that Edmonton wasn't shooting the puck. They just weren't scoring. And on top of that, they had a tough time playing again. They played from behind pretty much the entire series. Like, I want to say in the first period, they were outscored. Let's see, including last night, I think it was like 12-4 in the first period across the series. Like, of all the first periods in 6 games, they were outscored 12-4.
That's
they
bad,
played,
right?
Yeah, that's really bad. I mean, they played from behind. They led in the series. Now, granted, this stat was from a couple games before. I think it was at the end of game 4, where they led in the entire series a total of like 30 minutes. Compared to like I don't know what the other one was, like 200 minutes that Florida led.
I think it was game 5 when they pulled the goalie, and it looked like Edmonton had like a slither of hope. They scored that goal or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But then Florida they
took all the they just took all the air out of it. You know what I mean? Took all the momentum away from Edmonton. It's tough playing behind. Now, credit to Edmonton, there were a couple games where they had a full comeback. There was one they brought to OT, they lost in OT. There was another one they brought to OT, won in OT. And these were all like 2 or 3 point comebacks, like late comebacks in the game too. So credit to them they tried. But at the end of the day, Florida just was all around a much better team. Like, much better team.
I think next year when hockey picks back up, like, being from the Boston region, like, I think I'm going to have to rock with the Bruins. Even though I'm not, like...
It's not a bad organization.
Hockey like that. Yeah. So I guess maybe I have a little flexibility what team I want to represent, but I feel like I might as well just rock with the Bruins. You feel me?
It's not a bad organization to rock with, to be honest. I mean, it's they've got great history.
Yeah, I mean,
Boston's big hockey market too.
But even then, like all of our sports over there in New England Patriots. Yeah. It's been shaky. It's been shaky since Tom left. But I think this year we're gonna. I like what we did in the offseason this year for sure.
Well, Brad Marchand was a career Bruin, traded at the deadline this year to the Florida Panthers, and he was probably second place in the playoff MVP race.
Damn.
Yeah, when it came down to it. I mean, I think he had 5 or 6 goals in this series in the final.
Why they traded was kind of like,
I think the Bruins saw the writing on the wall. Hockey's a little bit different. Hockey, in my opinion, general managers are a little bit more aggressive about rebuilding than you see in like football. Mm-hmm. It's a lot like basketball, where you'll see them when the writing's on the wall and they know they're not making it. Well, they'll start getting aggressive with their
tear it all down real quick
and build it right back up. Yeah, so I think Boston will come around in a couple years, but now you got to keep in mind they were dominant for like 15 years.
Yeah,
like they were
always in that shit, right?
They were one of the powerhouses in the post salary cap era. The salary cap started 05-06. They won it twice in that time, and they've been to they've definitely been to 3 finals. It might have been 4 Stanley Cup finals in that time.
When's the last time we won? 2015, 2016?
When was that? Actually, I just was looking at all the.
I thought it had to been in 2010.
I have it up because I was just looking at all the winners recently. It was 2011.
2011 was the last time we won?
Yeah, because you guys lost in 19 to the Blues in the finals. So you guys are in the finals. Oh, you guys lost in 13 to the Blackhawks, too. Forgot that one, too. So you were in the finals 3 times, won it once, I guess. I thought you guys won a second one in that era. But so only 3 teams have gone back-to-back in the modern era. The modern era being like post-salary cap. And it's Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Panthers, and the Pittsburgh Penguins. The only 3 teams. 2 of those are Florida teams. 2 of those are located where it never freezes. By the way, it not once during the year does water freeze in Tampa or Sunrise, Florida is technically where it's at, but we'll call it Fort Lauderdale.
Which is right next to Miami?
Yeah, right next to Miami.
Type shit.
Yeah. So Florida just owns hockey. Also, big market. I don't know why I always forget about this when it comes to contracts because I'm thinking sport, not money. But Florida's got no income tax, so it's a very, very marketable place for people to want to go play, just like football.
You get more money.
Just like basketball, just like football, just like baseball. Those
contracts is nice.
It's like, do I want to go play for the Dolphins? I get $30 million untaxed. Fuck yeah, I want to go play for the Dolphins. You know.
Braino.
So I definitely get it, but hockey's been it's been growing rapidly in its audience over the last like 4 or 5 years. I got to give credit to their commissioner. The NHL commissioner is he's doing something right.
Listen, they want me as a fan. I don't even watch hockey like that.
Yeah.
So after watching, the finals, I'm like, damn, next year I really have to like lock in. Because I don't know when the season starts. When do they usually start, during the fall?
Yeah, it's usually around October-ish.
They don't have a big break, right? Like, I feel
no,
like
not really.
goes forever.
Bro, it was the Florida Panthers literally lifted the trophy last year 358 days ago.
Oh shit, yeah.
That was the difference in that's playoffs. That's all the way through at the end of playoffs.
Damn, yeah, it's pretty short.
Yeah, so it was not even less than a year they were there.
I'm gonna have to go to my first hockey game, so I'm gonna have to do.
Well,
who right next to us? Dallas.
Dallas, the Stars.
Dallas Stars.
Yeah, which they're a good team. They just are the most unclutch. I don't want to say the most unclutch team ever because you got Edmonton up there now. But Dallas has been in the Western Conference Final for like the last 3 or 4 years straight, and they just can't get past it. Yeah. But they're a good team.
Like Buffalo with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it really is that way. They just fired their coach, though, because of that. I think it was 3. I think it's 3 straight finals losses, or Western Conference Finals losses. I think it's 3 straight. And I think I'm pretty sure that coach was only there for like 3 or 4 years, too. He was like a newer coach, and he had a lot of success, but not enough success, so they fired him.
Damn.
Yeah, cold world. But I will say that
Hands in the air now.
I will say for hockey, I guess they're looking at their next expansion. I was just reading this today. The next expansion city for a team.
How many teams they got right now?
Oof. I don't know. It's not a huge number, I don't think. 1 second.
The NHL's been around for a very long time. So you would think they have.
Yeah, but the market wasn't that big for most of that time. Okay, just give me a fucking number. It just listed all the names. 32 teams right now.
Okay, so just like the NFL.
Yeah, but you got to keep in mind that 2 of those teams were added in the last 5 years.
Which was
Vegas. 3 of those teams were added in the last 5 years.
Which was Vegas and.
Well, my bad. Technically, Utah isn't a new franchise. They moved. It used to be the Arizona Coyotes. They moved to Utah. But Vegas, yes, and Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're looking. They have it boiled down to 2 cities right now. Now this is speculation. I don't know if this has been announced, but it seems like they're choosing between Houston and Atlanta.
Atlanta be a wild place. For hockey.
But there's a hole in the market there because the Carolina Hurricanes are in North Carolina. They're not. It's in Charlotte. So South Carolina doesn't have a hockey team technically. Georgia doesn't have a hockey team. Alabama, like that whole little market, doesn't have a team. Most people default to Tampa.
You have 2 Florida teams and 1 Texas team, right?
Yeah. So. And if I know Houston's got a big hockey market wise, I know just based off of the community, I've been in the community.
Yeah.
And I think Houston's been trying to get an NHL team for quite a while.
Yeah, think about it. Like, the Rockets are doing good right now. The Texans are doing good. The Astros, I think, are doing good.
Yeah, I mean, weren't they just in like the like
they were?
they went far in the World Series recently.
I don't watch baseball like that, so I'm pretty sure
I don't either.
But adding an NHL team, a successful one at that, now you got a booming market for sports in Texas. Because, like, 100%. To me, the Cowboys are a joke. But
But I mean, it's a massive. It's the name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if they're good or if they're bad. It's still the Cowboys.
Exactly.
They're still as big as they're gonna be. Yeah, it's cool.
He big body for real. He walked through here like he owned a motherfucker. Like he gonna bite somebody. He laying down in the corner.
At least you can't see him this time. That one time he laid right here.
Yeah.
Right in like the corner of it.
The whole show.
Yeah.
Let's pivot to some football though, right? So,
yeah, let's talk about some football.
So
that's enough hockey for now.
As of today, right? Breaking news today. Shedeur Sanders was cutting up. He was cutting up, right? He was cutting up in traffic. They caught him go 101 in Strongsville, Ohio. Don't be speeding in Ohio. I got a ticket when I was speeding in Ohio.
Yeah, I've gotten them too.
They don't play about that shit. But
yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like when the CBS and ESPN article that came out when they announced it, they kind of made it seem like it was more egregious than it actually was. Listen, 101 is still fast. It's still fast. But it wasn't Henry Ruggs fast. Right? Henry Ruggs was going 156. 156 in a C8.
Did he kill someone?
Bro, listen, you want to know why I want a C8? That dude rear-ended those poor people got arrested. So he rear-ended them at 150-something miles an hour, bro, and only hurt his neck. How did he not die from that? Crazy.
I would say that's a freak accident. I wouldn't put my money on.
The build quality on the C8 it's a Chevy.
I wouldn't put my money on me wrecking in a C8 at 150 miles an hour and being alive still. I feel like that's a 1 out of 100 chance.
I think we might need to check JD Power on this. Right? But I'm just saying.
We could probably get an AI to do some simulations for us.
But at the end of the day, right, it's still, you shouldn't be speeding, right? We're not going to advocate for bad behavior. He was cutting up. And he a rookie, and he already started.
I'm literally wearing a Paul Walker shirt.
Yeah, that is pretty wild. It's diabolical behavior. Diabolical.
I don't even know if you can see it.
Yeah, you can. His $1 million smile. Yeah, cuh.
I said forget about it.
Forget about it, cuh.
Yeah. No, that was a good movie. But anyways,
But at the end of the day, right, like, to me, I think as someone of his stature, where he's coming from, with all the social media and all the attention he brings, you can't be caught speeding, bro. You can't do nothing wrong right now.
You literally can't do anything wrong. Yeah. Because everyone wants to see you fail.
So bad. So like if he was wilding out in OTAs, he could have thrown straight touchdowns through OTAs and rookie minicamp and minicamp. And he throws one pick at training camp. It's like, oh, he was bad. That's why he was drafted in the 5th round. Like, he literally has to do everything perfect right now. So I think he needs to just make smarter decisions. Like, bro, it was like midnight. It was like 12:48 in the morning, bro. You know damn Ohio State Troopers, bro. That's where you probably got caught.
It's the highway patrol. The highway patrol is who you got to avoid.
Yeah, highway patrol.
You got to avoid those guys in Ohio.
Bro, they just be plotting on you. I remember I was driving my Alpha. I was going like 5 over. I swear. I saw him. Because I knew in broad daylight, he still pulled me over and gave me that ticket. I was like, that's for real? He's like, what? Like,
yeah.
You got it. You got it.
Well, I had a highway patrol literally admit to me that they pulled over the wrong guy, and they still gave me a ticket.
That's crazy.
They still gave me a ticket.
That's why I like Ohio, bro. That's why I like Ohio. I got no business being up there.
I'm good.
I was out.
I'm good.
I got no business over there.
I grew up right next to it. I used to have to be there quite often. So Ohio's in the past. I'm not going back. I'm good.
But staying in the AFC North, right? We'll come back to the Browns. But
yeah.
I recently did see the OTA videos. I think it was OTAs or mini camp videos of Caleb Johnson.
Mini camp.
And I ain't gonna lie, he looked real smooth. He's definitely, I think he's gonna be the RB1 for Pittsburgh.
I think so too. That makes sense.
I was definitely high on him on the draft. To me, he's like, I think he's a little smaller than Le'Veon, because Le'Veon was 6'1", I think. But they have a very similar play style. When you watch him at Iowa, he was a very patient runner. He was explosive, right? And to me, I feel like when you don't have a lot of flashy running backs like that, like Caleb Johnson, I want to call him flashy, but he was patient. Like, he had a different type of patience. Like, Cam Scatterbo's flashy, right? Ashton Dempsey, flashy.
Yeah.
Right? But Caleb Johnson was like, just watch him. He gets behind the line. He's patient. He finds the hole. That's what Le'Veon did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
that was his player comp. What is it? Wasn't it?
I don't think anybody compared him to Le'Veon. I did. That was my
okay.
comp.
Maybe I heard that from you.
I heard that from you. That
you.
was my direct comp from him, because I watched him. I was like, bro, he reminds me of Le'Veon Bell, how patient he is with a runner. Yeah. And in Cam Scatterbo, I saw some clips of him too. He looked real good. Conditioning did not look like an issue for him.
That's good. That man was throwing up at every fourth quarter game I watched. Iowa State, right?
No,
Arizona State. Arizona State. Yeah. Same colors. I think.
They're similar.
Similar colors.
Yeah, kind of similar.
But every game I watched, which was only maybe like 2 or 3.
Ain't nobody watching.
Maybe 3. I think I only watched like 2 games. He was always, they cut to him, and in the fourth quarter, he was throwing up on the sideline. And they were like, but after kind of taking a step back, I was like, we're running this man to death. like
he was the hardest soul of that team. The only reason why they were competitive against Texas was because that man.
Yeah.
That to me was, I don't know, he got drafted, I think,
he had a triple-double. Well, almost. I think he had it was like 70-yard passing. But if it would have been, I would have called it a football triple-double if he would have got 100 passing, because he had 100 rushing, 100 or hat trick.
Yeah, it'd have been a hat trick.
Hat trick. He would have crossed it all, and he had 1 or 2 touchdowns. It's something crazy.
Listen, to me, he's a football player, right? Because he's not the biggest, he's not the fastest, right? But when he played Texas, because my whole thing, when you're evaluating these guys, when they start playing higher competition, right? Everyone would agree that Texas is way better than Arizona State.
Yeah.
Texas should have blown them out. But the only reason they never got blown out is because of that man right there. Because at first the game looked like it was getting away from them. He's sitting there, he locked in. He got his team locked in. Not like he had a star quarterback. He was the team, bro. He put the team on his back and competed against an SEC Texas team.
Yeah.
Right? Brought it down pretty close to the wire. To me, I would have drafted him in the second
I would
round.
have taken him much higher.
I don't know when he got drafted. I think he was a 4th round pick, fifth.
I know it was later, but I'm almost 100% positive that the reasoning that he dropped was probably conditioning related. Because if like you said, if you look at his play, and you look at the film, you look at his stats, you look at all this stuff, and you're like, this man is the team.
4th
like
round,
he's got it. But the only thing I could see anyone giving him bad credit for, or a bad score for, is conditioning.
But I don't even think his conditioning was bad, bro.
But I feel like that could drop you 2 rounds.
Condition? Hell no.
I don't know. It depending on how bad it is.
I don't think his conditioning was bad.
I mean, I don't see other players throwing up on the sideline in the middle of games consistently.
Listen, if he's whether he's throwing up or not, is beyond the point. The fact that he balling, that's all that matters.
I know. I get that. I get that.
No numbers. Again, to me, conditioning wasn't necessarily I didn't have any issues with his conditioning, quote unquote, right? But again, he was a 4th round guy, but I think he got overshadowed by, I guess, bigger names per se.
Yeah, I guess.
To me, Ashton Dempsey, as great as he was, okay, this past season, my red flag for him was the Penn State game, because he's played in the MAC. He went and played up in competition. He had 2 fumbles against Penn State, and everyone's like, "Well, that was one of the best defense." He's supposed to be the best running back in the fucking league in all of college football. He's supposed to pull up to
by a long shot.
He's supposed to pull up to Penn State and drop 200.
Yeah.
Right? Now Cam Scattergo pulled up on Texas. He did his thing.
Yeah.
Now he quietly rushed for 100 yards, 100 all-purpose against Penn State, but he had 2 fumbles.
Yeah.
Penn State is pretty close to, it's the Big Ten. He's their top Big Ten team.
Yeah.
close to NFL. So what's gonna happen when he gets the league? When everyone is Alabama, Penn States, Ohio States.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the schemes.
If he has a fumbling issue, when he starts playing more difficult competition, because the MAC was not difficult, and that to me, when people was like, "Oh, he should have won the Heisman," well, Melvin Gordon rushed for 2,500 yards in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
he rushed for 2,500 yards in the MAC. Melvin wasn't even. I don't even think he was a Heisman finalist, or he might have been.
Yeah, the Heisman thing has almost seemed like a popularity contest nowadays.
The Big 12, to me, the Big 12 was harder than the MAC. And Travis Hunter was an elite on both sides of the ball.
I think that they made the right decision with Travis Hunter. Now, I don't think that it should have even been a question, though.
Politics.
Exactly. I think the Heisman is starting to get kind of dumb.
Yeah, well, it's too much of a quarterback award. Like, it was nice seeing a non-quarterback win for the first time. Because obviously, like, I think something like Cam Ward wasn't even a finalist. Dylan Gabriel was, but Cam Ward got drafted first overall.
Yeah, I mean.
So how does that map doesn't map to me?
I think it has to be the impact on the game and given, like, the current, like, situation.
Yeah.
Whether that be your schedule, like a combination of your schedule, your strength, the schedule, your stats, your everything. I think it has to be an objective look at how someone has impacted a team. Like if you take that player out, like an MVP.
Yep.
Like if you take that player out, what's it do to the team? Like if you took Josh Allen out of Buffalo and you put, I don't know, let's talk
Mitch Trubisky.
Trubisky. Let's talk about like a below average just game manager quarterback. I'm not going to say Trubisky. Let's go maybe like Kenny Pickett. Okay. Do you think that Buffalo team wins 10 games?
No.
No, not even close. He's the MVP.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson. We know what their record is without him starting.
But even then, I think I look at it like this, right? And that was a whole case between Josh and Lamar. People said Lamar got robbed. I don't think Lamar got robbed. I think, in my personal opinion, Josh won that MVP fair and square because James Cook was good.
Yeah.
James Cook was not Derrick Henry.
No,
a 2,000-yard rusher behind you, bro.
Yeah. I think Josh Allen's impact was higher.
For sure.
But, and this goes back to the problem we have as like a generation nowadays of like just because something's not great doesn't mean it's not good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just because we're saying Josh Allen deserved the MVP, we're not sitting here saying that Lamar Jackson didn't also have a massive impact on his team.
No, you're right. He had an impact, but to me, Josh's impact is like Cam's impact when he took the Panthers to the Super Bowl. Like,
right.
Cam took that 2015 Panthers team. They were 15-1. Everyone on that team was a bunch of fucking scrubs.
Yeah.
But Cam elevated every single one of them, right? Now, we can sit here and argue that from a roster standpoint, offensively, my personal opinion, Lamar had a better offensive supporting cast
I think so too.
than Buffalo did. He had technically a more proven running back who damn near double the yards, right? Mark Andrews is the tight end. You put Mark Andrews compared to Cole.
But even with Likely, you have two top-tier tight ends. You have two top 10 tight ends.
Mark Andrews, right, who's not only a vet and is a top tight end. Likely's a younger guy who's proven himself. But compare those two guys versus Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid that you can't.
Yeah,
they have the better tight end core. They have the better running back. Receiving core, I would probably give the Ravens a little bit of an edge because Zay Flowers is lit. I'm not a fan of Rashad Bateman, but he's still better than
he can.
They had Keel Shakir, bro, Matt Collins, and Keon Coleman, a rookie.
Yeah,
none of those guys were better than any of those receivers. Maybe Rashad Bateman.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You can make an argument on that one, but I agree. I definitely agree.
So Josh had to will those guys who technically aren't as his skill guys weren't as better as Lamar's skill guys.
Yeah.
Right. And honestly, if you want to say the receiving cores and tight ends are equal, I'd still say there's still a big gap between running backs because James Cook is not Derrick Henry.
No, 100%.
He's not.
Yeah.
We all watched what Derrick Henry did to that Jaguars team, bro. I forget it was Sunday night or Monday Night Football. We saw what he did to that whole team. 99 yards, bro.
Yeah.
He grabbed a grown man and threw him. He did that to 3 grown men. all the way down.
Yeah,
the field.
he's like just a freak. That's a generational player. Like that's generational
And they just
talent.
gave him an extension too, but I think they gave him an extension because Saquon got an extension though.
Probably. I don't know if this might be it though for him.
Listen,
He's older, and he's getting out of
31.
The like running back age.
Well, technically, he should have been already out of it.
Right. That's why I think that.
But
So he's got the extension now, but I think this is it. He'll probably be done.
I'm gonna tell you this: the running back is back. The running back is back.
Well, you're not wrong, but there's also younger. I would opt younger than older. Running back's one of those ones where they just it's grind. That's hard on the body. It's not like a quarterback. Well, arguably.
Well,
A protected quarterback's not going to be grinded down.
You're right, but like even then though, like I think Derrick Henry, Lamar is a perfect complement. Like if Lamar had, like,
For sure.
I guess,
For sure. So it made it so that you couldn't predict the offense anymore.
yeah,
You knew when you played the Ravens that if you locked off Lamar and you forced him to throw it, all you had to do was play man coverage. And his receivers at the time really weren't that good. Now Zay Flowers is good now, but he was still developing. But you knew that was it. But now they have, with Derrick Henry in there, we don't know who's getting the ball.
yeah.
Lamar could keep it. If we load up on the line, try to stop the run, Lamar could keep it, or he can hand it off, or he can throw it because now he's got like 4 targets that are solid. It's like it's hard to predict him now.
You got one guy who needs 3 people to tackle him, and then you got another guy that it takes 4 people to tackle him in the phone booth.
I
Like,
think,
bro, like,
and this is coming from a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I think the Ravens are the most complete offensive unit in the AFC.
Signed, right?
What'd you say?
You know who they just signed, right?
Who's that?
Jair Alexander.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I think as far as an offensive unit, they're probably the most complete. If that makes sense to their scheme.
Yes, to their scheme.
They're not
yes.
really missing any holes in their scheme.
I feel like I ain't gonna lie.
They can do what they want to do with the ball, and they can
got
do it
D-Hop.
effectively.
They got D-Hop too. I forgot they got him this offseason.
Bro, how many teams has he been on now?
He's chasing a ring. He's chasing a ring, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like he needs it. Like I'm so sick of these like nice receivers who were top 5 receivers at one point in the NFL who don't have any rings. D-Hop's one of them. Like D-Hop needed a ring. Randy needed a ring. Randy never got a ring. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna start seeing these guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if Anquan Bolden ever got a ring. He might have. Again, another top guy. Larry Fitzgerald, bro, never got a ring.
Okay.
Think about that. Larry fucking Fitzgerald never got a ring, bro. So like to me, like Julio never got a ring.
He's still playing, isn't he?
No, he just retired.
He just retired.
Yes. He just
That
retired.
sucks. Where did he go last year? I can't remember.
He was with the Eagles. That was the last team he played for. I think he played 2 seasons with them or 1 season with them. But he wasn't on the Super Bowl winning
He
team.
was on the. Oh,
He was a free
okay.
agent.
No, he was on the team that went to the Super Bowl
Yes, he was on the team that went to the Super Bowl.
and lost to Kansas, right?
Kansas City, yes.
Kansas City, sorry.
Yeah.
Damn.
So,
Yeah. It's probably about time to get out of here.
listen, it was a quick little shindig, right? Let me tell y'all something, right?
Oh, God.
Jamie wants to go get drunk. Okay. Now,
Stop calling me Jamie.
His name's not actually Jamie. It's just, it's an inside joke.
oh man, I'm dead. I was trying to get all sentimental. You gotta ruin my flow. How about you come in the camera real quick? Show them what you really look like. So you Jamie then. See, like
We could say anything. No one's ever
his
gonna
name
know.
is Ralph. Jaquavius.
Jaquavius.
Over here talking to me about this. When you over here looking at yourself in the monitor, flicking your tongue up and down while somebody's talking and shit. Like, bro, I'm gonna have to take this fucking monitor from him. He don't even look at this camera. He be staring at himself on this camera, looking over in the corner, from my perspective, looking at himself while he's talking.
I promise y'all, bro, I'm not a freaky ass nigga, bro. I promise you I'm not.
Oh, that's only something a fan would say.
Wow. I jack with K-Dot, bro. You feel me?
Wait, did you see that beef he had with that politician, that like Toronto politician? He wasn't
so.
beef. He just he like clowned him on Instagram. He took a picture of his. I guess he's close with Drake, or like they're at least friendly. And he went to the Kendrick
Yeah. I saw that.
The
I saw
Kendrick
that. Yeah,
show.
I saw that.
And Drake screenshot or DM'd him and said, called him goofy or something, screenshot it and posted it on his Instagram or whatever. And then this dude came out with an apology.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. That is pretty wild.
Yeah, that's funny. Anyways, let's get out of here. We'll pick it up again next week.
All right, y'all. Listen, I promise y'all. All right, listen. Like, comment, subscribe,
That was
share,
smooth.
repost, whatever. You feel me? We appreciate y'all time for coming check us out. Again, this is Aggressive Development with your host, Stephen Delesk.
That's me, by the way, not him.
Yeah, my name. Do I look like a motherfucker, Steven? No, I ain't no Steven.